Hey, guess who's back? Back again. It's your boy, Cement72, back again with another banger. Today, we're doing a Dracotail Deck Profile. Let's go. I took this deck to a regional, guys, and yeah, this deck's just insane, guys. Definitely my favourite of the new, big three decks, if you know what I mean. And obviously, some new support's going to come along the way. So I thought I might as well get the deck profile out now. And I'm also moving on to a few other decks in the next few videos. So I thought, hey, we'll get the profile out now. See if you guys like the build, see if your builds are similar or different. But anyway, guys, I hope your day's been going well. And as further ado, I'll see you in the deck profile. Let's go! Alright, boys, and here we are into the deck profile. Obviously, we'll start with the main deck for now, you know, beautiful. But yeah, this is the deck I took to the regional. And yeah, let's just get started. Obviously, we've got the pretty standard triple Femena, you know. I mean, I don't think anyone's running this card any less, you know. It's the card that lets you quick fuse on your opponent's turn, you know. Crack card. Honestly, I'd run this at 25 if I could. But obviously, yeah. So, triple Femena. We also have the triple YUGIOH here. Once again, you know, one of your normal summons, your search. Arguably not really the best normal summon in the deck because you do have Malulu. And obviously, a lot of the time, if you only draw this, you're probably not going to be able to do much. But obviously, that's why you also have your spells and Femena. So you never really just have this. But when you have hands where you just draw only YUGIOH, it can be really annoying. But it is what it is. Still run it at 3, obviously, a starter. Next up is the Malulu, you know, beautiful card. This is probably your best normal summon in the deck. Obviously, it's got a nice effect to negate when you also fuse with it. If you draw both of these, unless you want to be really greedy with the YUGIOH, I would always recommend your normal summon the Malulu instead. And then next up, I've got the double YUGIOH. So I was actually running this card at 1, guys, but I kept testing, and I kept not having enough Dracotail names in my hand, so I couldn't really fuse. So I ended up bumping this up to 2. I was going to bump Pan up as well. I know some people run multiple Pan and multiple YUGIOH. I kind of stuck with the 1 Pan. So I'm running 2 YUGIOH, 1 Pan, and I found these ratios a lot better where I was still seeing the names and I wasn't really bricking as much. But I know that Jesse Colton's build, he runs triple Pan, but I still like the 1 Pan. But yeah, the 2 YUGIOH is nice, and I do prefer the YUGIOH more than the Pan because obviously you can also recover resources with the YUGIOH, which is nice. And that's pretty much it for the Dracotail monsters. Pretty standard ratios there, but obviously the main ratios are on these 2 here, which are different in different builds. Next up, we have the other Onyuri normal summon of the deck. I'm running 2 Cartesia. Yeah, this is such a nice card to have, guys. The fact you can just normal summon it, still fuse, it goes to the grave, you pretty much get it back every time. It's just such a nice card to have. I know some people are running it at 3. I still chose to run it at 2 because I'm running one other kind of non-engine card. And that is the Dark End Evaporation Dragon. I was testing this and I really like it. It's not everyone expects it. If you guys don't know what this card does, basically, you can banish 1 level 8 Dragon monster from your extra deck, special summon this card from your hand. Also, you cannot special summon for the rest of the turn except Dragon monsters. So it does lock you out of anything that isn't Dragon, but you know, half your deck is Dragon. So it's usually alright. And then you either fusion summon 1 fusion monster from your extra deck using monsters from your hand or field. So it's really good. Let's say, I don't know. So let's say, I don't know, yeah, we used the Cartesia. Let's say we had Cartesia in hand, normal summon it out, it gets negated. You'd pass turn, obviously you could still fuse on your opponent's turn. But instead, you can banish a level 8 monster, special summon this out, and then start fusing and carrying your plays. So it's like an extender, and not a lot of people know about it. It's not the most popular card. But it's also got another effect. Target 1 other attack position monster on the field. Make this card lose exactly 500 attack and defense. And if you do, destroy that monster. So let's say, I don't know, you actually do have plenty of ways to fuse. You have your Keto Rahu in hand. You can just summon this out and then just kind of use it as an interaction. So I really like it in the sense that, you know, it's quite versatile. Because you can either use it to fuse. It's another secret way, you know, it doesn't use your normal summon, and it's just another way to continue your plays, or just be a way to kind of try and break broads, which is really nice. And next up, we have the hand trap lineup. I'm playing the pure hand trap build. I think this is probably the strongest build. I think most people agree. Well, I know there's a few builds going around, but yeah. Obviously, triple Ash, not the best right now, but it's never useless, right? And it's also good into the Charmies, which is nice. And then we have, I'm running triple ogre. You can't really run cards like imperm in this deck because obviously they're traps. And the problem is when you start running a lot of non-engine that aren't monsters, all your fusion monsters fuse with monsters in your hand. So the less monsters you have, the less chance you have to fuse. And when I was doing testing with like other builds, you really don't want to draw those cards, guys. So I prefer to just use all monster hand traps. I know obviously it plays into other cards like talents and all that, but hey, it is what it is. Now obviously we have triple Fua. Side this card out going first, but yeah, it's still a good card to just main deck, I think. I don't run Perilia, I don't actually own it, but yeah, I think the triple Fua is fine. We're running triple Nib. This card's still so nice, guys. I love this card. Like it just wins games, boys. You know what I mean? You especially when you draw multiple hand traps, right? If you draw like the Ash with the Nib, it's like or the Ogre, it's like what can they do? You know, you just nib them, and then if they try and extend, you just keep throwing stuff at them. And then we have the triple Veiler. Obviously, we can't run imperm, like I said, for the reasons, for just bricking reasons, like with fusing. But the effect Veiler is nice. Comes up, you can use it more than once a turn, so running at 3 is nice. And the final hand trap I'm running is the double Bell. You know, this card's good into the mirror because it can stop the traps. It's good into Yummy, but I only ran it in 2. It was either I was going to run 3 Bell or 3 Ogre. I decided to go with Ogre because I think it's more generically good against just everything. Whereas Bell can feel useless in a lot of matchups, but it's good against 2 of the best decks. So I still am running it at 2, but that is the hand trap lineup, boys. And next up, the other most standard ratios of all time. We've got obviously the triple Rahu, one of your best fusion spells, but it does lock you. And the other key 2 here, obviously this card is kind of just a search, but if they control a monster, then it becomes the better fusion spell, because obviously then you can then fuse and it doesn't lock you. I do find that a lot of the time you want to use this first because it doesn't lock you, but at the same time you can hold on to this if you have both or just other ways to fuse, because you know there's stuff like, because obviously people can play on your turn. That's kind of the new thing, right? People play on your turn, so a lot of the time it's actually really nice to just hold key 2 in hand. Let's say you use Rahu, or I don't know, use just any card, Malula, whatever, and then they start like summoning Vanquish Souls on the board, summoning, you know, just anything onto the board. You can then just key 2 because you held on to it, and then because they control a monster, you can then fuse. So yeah, it's really nice to just have. So we've got the key 2, the Rahu, and then obviously we have the 2 traps, Horn Flame, really good, cycles each other back. When the new support comes out, I might run all 3. Obviously, I haven't really tested it yet because it's not out. But for now, that is the ratios I have for the rest of the Dracotail cards. Next up, boys, we have the lovely extra deck, of course. Triple Artalion, however you like to say it. You know, this card's really good. It's one of your best cards. You know, it's like so cracked because you can like recover. The thing that I just love about this card is the fact you can just recover hand traps, right? You ash them, you then summon this, and then you take your ash back for next turn. It's like, do you know how unfair that is, guys? You can literally like ash Ogre, and if you have enough cards in your hand, you can just start bringing them all back. But obviously, this card doesn't do too much once it's already on the field. It is what it is, but still triple Artalion. We've got double Gullamel. Obviously, you can run the 3rd, but yeah, I think most ratios run it at 2, and I found it at 2. I never really felt like I needed more than 2. But this deck's pretty good with extra deck space, guys. Like, I found that I never really was like, damn, like this extra deck is not tight at all, and there's a lot of cards you'll see kind of like from the other cards I have. But see, these are all the Dracotail extra deck cards that are even in the game, so we got. And then we have the Secretarian Dragon, also, you know, good into Blue Eyes, good into the Mirror, good into the Primite cards, good into like Branded, I guess. Good into like any spellcaster deck. Like, it's just too good to like not run this card, right? Obviously, it's kind of easy to out and like the Dracotail Mirror and all that, but it's a nice card to have. And then I'm running the 1 Chaos Star Source Dragon. Really nice card to go into with Evaporating Dragon, but also just a card you can go into, you know, pop a few cards. And then we also have the Philia Regis, another nice card, you know, banish. People don't always expect you to just bang it, like pull into this. And then the other kind of copium card, we have the 1 Mega Fleet, guys. If you didn't know about this tech already, it's kind of like to kind of check. It's kind of to check Christian Canine players, because obviously they summon the Cyber Dragon Infinity, and then if they put another card in the extra deck zone, you can fuse both off, and then you just have this on the board. And it's kind of like an auto win. That's why I included it, because obviously our extra deck is kind of like not that like strict, I was like, hey, you know, might as well. And also Cyber Dragon K9 is popular, guys. Like, well, it's getting popular now. Like, I actually versed a Cyber Dragon K9 player in my regional. That I ended up beating him. I never got to summon this, but, you know, it's still there, you know. But, yeah, I kind of ran this as a cope card. I knew Christian, you know, was a deck. I didn't see any. I'm not going to lie. Like, I didn't verse any of them. But I thought this could just be an auto-win card, so I'm including it. Next up, we're on to the link cards. Obviously, we have the Spirit Visor Blue, you know, in the beautiful new Starlight Rare. But, yeah, this card, obviously, you kind of just have it so you can go to Seals off a Spellcaster. Obviously, you know, you kind of fuse with obviously, with this line, you kind of normal summon the Lugia or something like that. Use as effect. I don't know, you grab Femene, you fuse with cards in hand into a Talion. And then, obviously, you can, because Luke's a Spellcaster, you just, like, go into the Spirit. And then you, obviously, turn both of those into a Seals. So, you know, it's just a nice way to get to Seals. So you kind of just have to run that one. And, you know, once again, it's just, yeah, having the Seals on the end board, just an extra interruption, which is really nice. So, yeah, we're running the Seals, running the one Cross Sheep. This card's really nice as well. Because, obviously, when two cards go to the graveyard at the same time, you can activate cards like Orphalion from the graveyard. So you summon this out, and then, obviously, you can, like, activate Orphalion to come back. And then you can pop Cross Sheep's effect. So it's just really nice to have as a one-off. Obviously the one SP Little Knight. And I'm running Underworld Goddess, guys. This card I feel like is still underrated. Like, although Dracotail doesn't go to that many bodies, you can surprisingly get the bodies for this pretty easily, right? Because let's say they don't fully break your board, but there's a card you can't get rid of on the field, right? And let's just say your board's like, I don't know, this is an example. Obviously, then let's say it goes back to you, and you still can't out this Towers monster. If you have like other like Dracotail cards in your graveyard, you know what I mean? You fuse one more time, suddenly both of these activate, and they come back from the graveyard, and then you have enough materials for the Underworld. So that's why I really like this card. And you will not believe it, this card actually did come up during the regional, guys. I actually beat over a Chaos Angel by just summoning Underworld Goddess, and I won the game doing that. So, like, I just kind of like running it, you know. Obviously, against, like, Lunalight, they can just wipe the board before you can even, like, once you get all the materials on board. But still, there are other tower decks, and, you know, you never want to just lose to a Towers monster, right? Because you don't have, like, a single out. And, obviously, the final card is the Star Slayer. You know, you losing this card might help you win. You know, you got to run it at one. Once again, our extra deck space isn't too tight, so it doesn't hurt to run this. Alright guys, now we are on to the side deck. So I'm running the triple Fenrir in the side. Obviously, this is the hand trap build, so I didn't really want to main deck this, to be honest, because I'd rather just open 4 hand traps. You know what I mean? If you like main this and you like go second, and then like obviously it's a good card to go second, like you just special summon it out, but you know what I mean? You know what I mean? Your opponent can still play, right? It doesn't do anything on their turn, right? Whereas if you had, instead of the Fenrir in hand, you had an Ash, it might fully end their turn. But, you know, I do like having this in the side. Obviously, it's good into like decks like Yummy. And when you're going first, I do like to just shove this in, you know, special summon it out. There you go, just another interruption on your board for free, for absolutely free. So, yeah, I'm running the triple Fenrir in the side. Next up, we're still running the Lancers. Don't even care, man. I don't like Malice. Pretty sure most people don't. I still run it. Because I honestly did expect to see it, but I actually didn't see a single person on Malice, guys. The deck may be dead. But it's still good into other stuff, you know, like there are some Christian cards that banish, there's all-cost cards that banish. Like, there's still stuff that is banishing, so still running the Lance here, to be honest. And then I'm also running the Drolls, you know. Once again, this is an auto-win floodgate, right, guys, against some decks. Obviously, I'm not maining it right now, because a lot of the decks this format don't care about it. But you never know what you're going to verse at a regional, and this is an auto-win card, so I'm running it. And then we also have the one Bell. Obviously, I chose to run 3 Ogre, 2 Bell in the main, but I thought there are some matchups where the Bell is really good. So I thought if I want to put the 3rd Bell in, I can. And that's kind of all the monsters / hand trap in the side deck. And next we have just the one-offs. These are kind of spells and traps. So although I said, you know, I don't like putting them in because obviously it can kind of mess up your fusing. Still have a few. So obviously you have the Cool Buy and the Talents. I like siding these in when I'm going first. We also have the Frost, so obviously you can search them. And we have the Harpy's Feather Dust, you know, just in case you verse the odd trap deck. I was like, you know what, might as well just shove it in. And we also have the 1D barrier. Never used this card, but once again, it's searchable of talents. You can pretty much just, you know, shove all of these in if you really wanted. I never did, obviously. I feel that's too many. You kind of pick what you want to put in. But all of these cards are nice to search off the frost, apart from obviously Cool Buy. But yeah, that is my side deck, guys. I don't know if I'd change anything with the side. I do kind of like the side. But yeah, that is pretty much the deck profile, guys. So guys, I hope you enjoyed that deck profile. That is the end of this video, obviously. And if you have any improvements or you kind of like disagree with some of the choices I made, don't forget to just like let me know in the comments, explain why. You know, I always like to hear other people's ideas. And guys, I hope you enjoyed that video. As always, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Don't forget to let me know if you disagree with anything in this deck profile or you think there's some improvements. You know, always happy to you know take into consideration different builds, different paths. You know, and yeah, stay tuned for more content. And as always, guys, have a good rest of your day. See you in the next one. Peace.